Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The final game of this best of 3 series. The winner of this one will move on up and face up against Vega. The loser will be out of the PGL Open CIS qualifiers. It's as easy as that. And we're seeing some familiar faces. Lich for the third time in a row in the hands of Double Dimension. Ancient Apparition also making a reappearance. And this time the Earthshaker snagged up in the first phase by Team Spirit. So, the tables have turned, perhaps. Double Dimension facing up against the Shaker. They lost one game with it, they won another. Where do we go from here is the big question. Necropho's still in the pool, but the Ancient Apparition kind of makes that pick not comfortable for them at all. Instead, they're gonna go for the Venomancer again. Alright. A very nasty hero. Didn't quite work out in the first game just because they couldn't really get close to anybody and survive long enough to get a few spells on target. We'll see if it's different this time around. He's quite squishy, of course, if you can get on top of him. Then if you don't kill him, if he gets the spells off, then he's setting you up for failure if the fight goes on much longer, or if you don't have anything to heal yourself up with. There's the Faceless Void Band. I was talking about that in the last draft as a good combo together with the Ancient Apparition. Team Spirit didn't end up going for it, but
10 seconds remaining.
It's also a little bit of a later A pick. I think it was in third position. So the rest of the lineup is already filled up a little bit more. This time around though, banned out. Makes a lot of sense still. I'm just hoping still for Team Spirit to go back to the old classic and just pick up a Wisp here and a Tiny. That would be amazing. There's some decent sort of semi-counters to it. Lich with the Frost Blast, or the Chain Frost. Keep calling it Frost Blast for some reason, but the Chain Frost obviously is ultimate. Can bounce between the heroes that relocate in, but it's kind of weak. It can normally separate fairly quickly. Yeah, we'll see. Plenty of other options for sure. Here's a little bit pipe as well. Necrophos has been banned now, so that would have been another good option. Thinking of another point I wanted to make, but I forgot it now. Bad Rider, okay. So a little bit more on the nose, a little bit more initiation in the single target variety. Again, you have to be careful with the Venomancer. If you try and drag him in, and if you don't have enough follow-up control, if he gets his ultimate off, then
10 seconds.
Gotta watch out for that. You have to have you either have to play around that very carefully, or you have to have some sort of fallback. Again, here a little bit of the pipe will probably be invaluable this game. They could still they can't fit a Rubik into this lineup anymore. Not really. Because his passer is also pretty much a free pipe for everyone involved. That makes sense, but another option would be the Juggernaut, which is kind of a classic semi-counter or soft counter. Do this kind of stuff. All of this damage over time, because he makes it so that you still have the healing ward if you survive, if you don't straight up die when the Venomancer ultimate comes out and the fight keeps going on. Then you're able to just group around the healing ward and be fine. And then continue to push more to the point. Right? So this is an option the Team Spirit does have, but right now they're gonna go for the Mirana. There should be an Iceberg Mirana for mid. But they have that flexibility, obviously. Mirana can go anywhere she pleases. And should definitely be a core one, though. I think it's pretty clear. Bad Rider offlane, either 1 or 2 position Mirana, and then the Earthshaker roaming. So they either look for another mid hero or another carry on the side of Team Spirit. They have the very last pick, so they have the option to decide once they see what Double Dimension wants to throw at him. They're fairly straightforward. Venomancer core in any position at this point. Earth Spirit's going to be roaming. Could be fairly successful here, depending on how well they play it. Ancient Apparition, decent enough target. But yeah, they had the Venomancer game 1. The problem was they couldn't really fight into them, they couldn't brawl, and now the Lifestealer, we'll fix that. Venomancer can go for something like a Blink Dagger, so you can maybe play a carrier, but the main one that you already have straight off the bat is the Earth Spirit.
10 seconds remaining.
But also wouldn't be too surprised to see Double Dimension now pick up
5 seconds
another
remaining.
mobile hero for Undershock out of the middle lane to act as a Lifestealer carrier. There's still plenty of options. Puck would be the most obvious one. Queen of Pain. Sort of susceptible to the Batrider, but then again, who isn't? And Ember Spirit, actually, if I want to go back to that one. I think with Lifestealer, it might be enough punching power to be able to fight, even with the Ember Spirit kind of being a little bit slow to really get so huge.
Dire team ban.
In this game, there are also different circumstances. There's no Terrorblade with a gajillion physical damage 15 minutes into the game that Ember Spirit has to worry about. It's actually very limited physical damage right now coming out from Team Spirit. Mirana can be a right clicker much later in the game.
10 seconds remaining.
Not like it's insignificant, but she's always been considered a semi-carry in that regard. Because you need a lot of items to make that work. You don't have any natural steroids like a lot of carries have. Lifestealer has the obviously the lifesteal, he has the magic immunity and that extra attack speed from the rage to help him stay on target, not to mention the slow. Mirana, what do you have? You have a nuke? It doesn't amplify right clicks really. You have a leap, which, okay, maybe you can count that with that extra bit of attack speed that you get, but it's fairly mediocre. You also generally want to keep the leap in case you need an escape or just as a team buff.
Remaining. 5 seconds
We'll see.
remaining.
Take out the Vipers outside of Team Spirit. They don't want to be Viper again. I can definitely understand that. It also makes sense to ban a hero like that rather than one of the mobile heroes, because there's so many others that are just as mobile. They could have banned out the Puck, but then again, Ember Spirit, Queen of Pain, all of these heroes would have still been available, so it's not really much point if that's your goal, to just try and limit the lifestealer carriers. At this point, it's too late. So you just have to realize, you have to accept that you're gonna have a hero like that. And Team Spirit now with the Anti-Mage. Alright, so Mirana mid. Iceberg picking that up as expected. Anti-Mage gonna be the safe lane carry. Good matchup against Lifestealer. Normally you can blink away from him whenever you choose. Decent against Queen of Pain too, if you really think about it. Especially much later, so Anti-Mage. Yeah, if you really look at these drafts, there's not a whole lot that can actually lock him down. Undershock can build an Orchid, but by the time he gets it, LDW should be closing in on the Manta Stars. So the only thing that can screw him over right now is No Fear. He's the only source of silence and lockdown that's worth for them against the Anti-Mage. And this might just be enough to carry them through. But that only matters if the game goes late. The game ends before 30 minutes, like if Double Dimension just goes super aggressive and try to go for the same kind of timing that Team Spirit went for in Game 1 with the Terrorblade, then that Anti-Mage might just very well find himself in a position where he has to fight, but he's not strong enough yet. Like the Anti-Mage duality, regardless of the draft. Like if the game, or if the enemy is just punching your high ground before the 30-minute mark, it's very hard for you to go in, because maybe you have a Manta Style, sure, you have Manta Style, you have Battle Fury, but you don't have the high levels, you don't have a Basher, you don't have the ability necessarily to get in, lock someone down, right click him a couple of times with crazy attack speed, and then blow him up. That might not be the case 30 minutes in. So this is the timing that Double Dimension will have to go for. They need to find a good start in mid. They should be able to do that and secure that, more to the point, with the Lich. Lifestealer, generally a very strong laner. Also great matchup up against the Batrider, so Rajic should also have a nice time. So if they can secure mid, if they can secure the safe lane, they should have good setup for the lifesteal bombs with the Queen of Pain. We'll be able to blow up quite a few of the heroes, everyone really that they catch at this point. Lincoln, Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave, a couple of extra nukes, lifesteal popping out, yeah, should be enough to kill anybody, unless it's the anti-mage and blinks away, or there's some sort of counterplay from the Earthshaker. It's definitely gonna be on Double Dimension to make that stuff happen. You have an Earth Spirit as well to try and accomplish that. So they have all the tools, they just need to put them to use. Team Spirit, if this turns into a farming game, if this game slows down, that's only going to work in their favor. They have some initiation of their own, so DK Phobos Fields lands a good timing on his Blake Dagger, obviously can poke and prod here and there. But all of this is not necessarily to serve the objective agenda in terms of just getting a kill and taking down towers or taking down Roshan. It's only going to serve to slow down Double Dimension. Alright, again, if you're just tuning in, welcome. My name is Dragon Job. Happy to bring you this game, and this is game 3 of the best of 3. The loser is out. The winner will move on and play up against Vega right after this one, so do stay tuned for that. What are they gonna do here? Well, I guess you don't necessarily want to have the Venom Answer to deal with as an anti-mage, so Batra is also not the best matchup against Lifestealers, so do they actually want to go aggressive here? LTW is sticking around in this top lane together with Biver. And yeah, they're making this movement. DKFO was making his way down to the bottom lane. This has not been scouted out. Could be interesting. Still, anti-mage, of course, very not the strongest laner up against a hero like a Lifestealer, but I don't know. I actually haven't seen that matchup, as it is not exactly common. I guess you can burn away at the mana from Lifestealer. But after that, I don't know. Could be interesting to say the least. Didn't consider it, but it's definitely a much better laning choice for Team Spirit. Especially with the Earthshaker also potentially roaming up top, also perhaps roaming mid. Setting up for some sort of arrows on the Undershock. He already skilled the blinks, so any sort of visual block will not be impactful at all. L2W is yet to kill something. Thing is, like, normally Lifestealer, a very good base damage. So you can trade with that as well as the lifesteal that you have inherently from Feast. And that the damage that you get from that. Okay, roll in as well. Braun ultimate the rotation. They're going straight on by with the catch him with the slow and the body blocks. Couple of right clicks and that'll be the first blood. Third time in 3 games. The first blood goes the way of Double Dimension, and looks like IL2W. They're not skilling anything. I feel like he would have skilled the blink by now just to get himself out of there, but still holding on to it. Casey absolutely needs it. He needs some extra help, but right now Kirito. Oh wow! What? FNG actually running down the courier arrow, almost landing on Undershock. That arrow landed, actually Undershock would have died for sure. Like a bunch of creeps on top of him. Yeah, damn. Good thing he sidestepped that, but it was also shot at an angle that even if it missed, it would hit one of the creeps. So free farm, I guess. He will be able to pick up that. Yeah.
What have we here?
Oh, yeah, that was arrow on a creep. Iceberg actually dropping super low. That's 2 points up on the Shadow Strike. Sticking out to this, or he would be if it wasn't for the self. Luckily, the Shadow Strike has a very long. Oh god. Go bad, right? Alright, no field made a rotation. But yeah, luckily the Shadow Strike damage instances tick very slowly. You have a chance to get a decent amount of heal back up from the self. Everyone's so low. If there's Bloodseek in this game on either side, he'd be super happy as it stands. Undershock feels comfortable enough to stick around here, knowing that Earthshaker doesn't have mana for another fissure. And Mirana is back at base for a while. There's still the arrow. Again, very hard to actually get that without a setup, especially if the Earthshaker is running at you, like he owns the place. Right, so far so good for Double Dimension. Nofi already making some rotations, 2 assists, so leading into 2 kills. First blood and then a kill down bottom on the Batroid as he overextended a little bit onto flow. I still feel like LTW, I mean, he's being shot down really hard so far. Now he's taking away all the mana from lifesteal, but that just means that Rajik doesn't have to deal with that extra damage.
Dire are scanning.
It's 16 assets to the 7 or 8 now of the anti-mage. Starting right back up, and he's only has a stout shield, no permanent shield, so that is slight advantage, I guess, for LTW. But still, he needs more help, and finally FNG heard the call and made the rotation up top. Brown all secured the Pantheon. Now run right into him. Blink forward, a couple of right clicks there. Could be enough to finish off LeBron. The Frost, I'm actually keeping him alive. They will need another blink, but they don't have it. But they have no Shaker with boots, so there'll be enough flow. Keep it in here to try and turn things around, but only has some more to throw out, so it's a minus slow, but there's some actual slows if it's connected with the roll from Nofi. Level 2 does have a stone to throw in a couple of seconds here, but Clarity being cancelled will delay that quite a bit. FNG will be fine, good plays all around there. But at the same time, you still have an anti-mage up against lifesteal, and yeah, this is... That's silly to even think that there was some sort of chance of anti-mage coming out ahead of this one, if it's just straight up 1-for-1, just because lifesteal is just such a strong 1v1 laner. It does a really good amount of damage. And Ancient Apparition, as good as that hero can be, these kind of situations where these solo lane supports, it's not enough. Wolfeed, sure, you can throw it out, it does a little bit of tick damage, but if you don't have a setup to make sure that you have to get to 2 seconds of lockdown, where it's like a couple of more right clicks, 2 or 3 more right clicks from 2 heroes, just make a difference. Undershock, there it is. What I'm talking about. 1, 2, dead. No mana for blink, so overextension as well there from the Queen of Pain. Didn't have mana even before LTW came in there. Yeah, now you finally rotate him here to the safe lane. And he needs to catch up. But hey, look at this, Undershock coming right back. Who even needs mid lane? Flo is taking that over. They're slowing down this anti-mage is just much bigger window of opportunity for Double Dimension to do what they need to do. That's what I was talking about. They need to hit these timings. No fear. Catch him with the flame rag, he should end up dying to this, yeah. Leap into Starfall, level 3. Good kill for Iceberg. Already dominated mid here, 40 last sets now. With 27 Undershock here just before he left. Of course, Earthshaker's pressure was a big part of that, obviously. So FNG, good on him to make that happen. Again, they did sacrifice the anti-mage a little bit to make that work, so... Now he has to repay that particular debt. Out of region though, no! That was value. Undershock, just throw down ultimate on the anti-mage, just try to farm some creeps. On very low health, so... This is a good one now, perhaps some turnaround potential. Undershock does not have a blink and once again spring some mana, but this time around he has the stick charges. So he's feeling comfortable to take this kind of fight, but, well, LTW not actually going for right clicks. He's just waiting to deny Kirita. And he can't! Undershock. Another blink, another scream. Bad position to be in. Yeah, he's catching up quite nicely. Despite not having one blasted war in mid. Still about 700 gold away from Iceberg though. It's the saving grace right now for Team Spirit. Considering how not so well the other lanes are doing, so they're gonna need him to kind of create the space, essentially.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like to see perhaps some sort of rotation. He's level 8, but didn't put a point up into the Moonlight Shadow just yet, so it makes it a little bit harder. But he just secures some farm for the anti-mage. It's just what it comes down to. Undershark has set up shop down here, and he's not leaving. Top lane is still the lifestealer lurking, so it's not a lot of fun for the anti-mage still. Mid lane's also kind of susceptible to no fear. Also in the bottom lane even.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Venom LeBron sticking around. Yeah, they're gonna do that. LTW walks mid, and yeah, Flo's waiting for him. Zedamant's also level 7. This is also another fun laning matchup for anti-mage. Ugh.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So then the question becomes, what can Double Dimension do with this kind of time? Because slowing down the anti-mage is well and good, but eventually he will get his Battle Fury. Eventually he will start surging ahead. So what can you do in the time that you're bored with this? For that answer, you have to look towards Undershark, you have to look towards No Fear. They catch Piper. Arrow flies, but once again, yeah. Getting distracted by, sorry about that, but once again the arrows dodged Undershark. They get a quick kill, pop the ultimate just to be sure that there's no counterplay. And yeah, keep going for these kind of kills, get your levels before. Okay, LTW doesn't blink, you should be fine. Keep getting your levels. Flo has max level wards at this point. You can start sieging down towers with that. Lifestealer is getting complete free farm. He'll have Midas. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with this one in a game like this. Rather see just the oh god, Iceberg. We are so low, caught out by the smoke, the leap, he's trying. Ugh. Not going well at all for Team Spirit. No fear. Well, Cold Feet might proc just at the edge. He'll give up his own life for the cause, but it was well worth it. Bring down Iceberg like that. Kifobus. Creep skips, trying to mess with Rajix a little bit. But again, going for the Midas will surely amplify his farm, but also mean that he's not going to be too active for a while. But again, with the anti-mage being slowed down like he is, he can definitely afford that long range arrow here set up by the fissure. And silence there from No Fear, so that's an easy enough setup. Earthshaker going into the walls like that. Not somewhere that Iceberg necessarily wants to follow. He could have leapt in afterwards and Starstorm, but a lot of power concentrated here for Double Dimension in this mid lane. They're gonna bring down this tower. There's no ifs or buts about it. And they chase anti-mage away from this lane that he was trying to farm in.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Orchid in the works for Undershark. Be quite effective. Secure more kills. But yeah, I wouldn't have been too opposed to the old school armlet into Desolator build, but in this game he's still up against the Ancient Apparition. Fiver, he's level 5. So armlet is always questionable up against the Ice Blast. Alright, Lifesteal infested into this creep. Eventually it'll die here though. Roll in, about enough time. No Fear Rajix pops out, Iceberg leaps away, but well, that much of a time will finish him off. Jebaited down bottom. Ancient Apparition ended up falling to Undersharks. He just dove him down. Team Spirit falling apart, it just seems. Maybe this last game still sits in their minds, on their bones. Rattling them a little bit. Because this game started the way the last game ended. Just a lot of momentum for Double Dimension. A lot of things going right. In bad right here. Went for the drum spells. No early blink to try and do something, but well, he used the last a little bit earlier on his first attempt of the Rajix. Now they might actually find him though, as he committed deep for the tower. Now forced to walk down below. That's a really good kill, especially for Iceberg, especially after the couple of deaths that he's had. Very unfortunate. He's ready to catch back up. Yasha in the works. If he wants to turn it into Mana style, perhaps with Undershark going for his Orchid, they will figure that out. It's a necessary defensive item. Could just be a casual Yasha and then... I don't know, do you still go Axe? It's been nerfed to the ground, hasn't it? That would not be something you want to consider. Also gonna start putting some points into the Moonlight Shadow, one would think. There it is. And that's something that they have not been able to exploit here, just due to his skill choices. The sentry status, it's actually no detection. No detection available right now on Double Dimension, so there's an opening to maybe do something with that. Especially once FNG gets to level 6, he finishes off right now. So jumps forward, DK forwards, looking for Undershark, Moonlight Shadow comes out now, but the blink up north. Undershark will be just fine, Ice Blast will miss, and this attempt not so lucky. Okay, that did have the dust. Now you should get the lockdown on poor FNG. No fear, he also has a passenger. 4 heroes down here in the bottom lane, so they'll secure yet another tower, especially with Flow starting to set up. And DK forwards, he might not be surviving this either. No fear, just doesn't quite have the vision to actually see where anyone is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Once he finds somebody, he's gonna roll, and nice little surprise is gonna be waiting for whoever he finds. Right by Iceberg is going back mid.
Illusion.
We're actually following him. Not sure about this one, but that is. They find him. Undershark also made the rotation. And, well, I'm gonna bring in my co-caster LD for this one. Oh, Toby won actually, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I had that queued up, but not the LD line. So. Well, what are you doing now? Rajix finds another one inside the trees. DK4 was no Fireflies trying to TP out the stun. The stone will connect. No fear. This guy, like, if they win this game, it's no small part of this guy. No fear. It's from minute 1. Aggressive all over the map, just like they needed him to be. And Echo Slam down bottom. Finally using that flow. Not taking too much damage from it here, but they will be hit by the Ice Blast. Should end up ticking out eventually, but pops on his ultimate, eats an arrow. And Nerfshake already with the TP back. So to get away with this one, finally something in favor of Double Dimension. ILTW, yeah. Look at how much he's been struggling. Apparently Poison Sting doesn't cancel carries. Good to know.
Top tower is under attack.
'Tis mine.
Worthy tribute.
So, LTW is rushing, struggling to find farm. Still 3.3k net worth, 60 minutes in. You want to have your Battle Fury by this point already, but he's still so far away from it. No fear again, bringing a package for someone to roll on. Undershark on the other side of the map, waiting for someone to show up too. He does have the Orchid completed, so an easy pop on pretty much anybody, especially if ILTW goes up there with no health points. Ugh. Could be disastrous. At the same time, they're smoked up sort of behind him. They might be baiting him out. It might be too late. Silence, ultimate. Yeah, it's not enough. It's gonna tick. It's gonna tick up to the Orchid Burn. They get the Lasso, they get the Ice Blast, they get the follow-up. They will find revenge, but what can they buy with that? Nothing. An adaptation of a German saying, but not sure if anyone understood it, but it's like, point is that their goal has to be to get Anti-Mage off the ground, but he still dies. Iceberg having a lot of eggs in his basket. We'll see whether they can make an omelette with them, or they'll just fizzle out. Double Dimension. LeBron here leading the charge, finds DK Phobos coming in. That's not the blink thing now, no lasso to work with at the moment. Use it for the
Dire's
shocks.
structures are fortified.
Coming back. Threatening. Forcing out these blinks. Oh god. Run him down. I'm not sure how long Rajix was actually inside inside Nofia. Not too long. The Midas didn't come with cooldown. Oh.
Gold for me.
Double Dimension is in complete control of this game right now. There will be for another 10-15 minutes perhaps, at least. That Midas already turned into Sanjinyasha. He now has the Desolator queued up. And that'll help them not just blowing up some more heroes, but also help against the towers. Because that's one thing they're missing, is like really fast tower damage. Of like a partner along that Team Spirit had last game. But Lifestealer can turn into quite a decent tower hitter once he has that Desolator available. You can just walk up, you rage, you hit the tower a couple of times, you do a decent chunk of damage. Then you walk back, be pretty much free, unless you get caught by the lasso. Like the Venomance is right now. So it's a clean kill so far. Nofi actually comes back in. Try to roll to help. Pops on the ultimate. LeBron as well. Under shock. Brings some passengers. So they will turn this into a trade. 2 for 1 so far. The silence up on Bat Rider and nothing to cancel the TP. And not enough damage to burst him down. FNG dies again, but this was well worth it. 1,000 gold swing in favor of Team Spirit. A lot of that is gonna go to the Marana once again. Has 1,000 gold in the bank. Only have the meta style completed. The Battle Fury finally done, not quite. This is the Claymore, still needs the broadsword. Another 1,000 gold away after this creep camp, and then he still has to have treads. That he still has to have meta. Long way to go for this anti-mage still. Iceberg does have the leap, should be fine. D-Rune on Lifestealer. Oh man. Got started, so yeah, they're picking out Roche. Don't quite have the minus damage just yet, apart from except for that nice little medallion the bombers that we pick up, so they'll make this very fast between that and the DD. Headspace coming in will hit on absolutely everybody, and Team Spirit, do they want to fight this? I think they need to. No Echo Slam, but the arrow will connect. Followed up with a fissure here, they'll get one, maybe. No Fear will die, but he gets a couple of spells of Undershock with the follow-up here to bring down Iceberg. Without Iceberg, they have to abort. He's the one source of damage right now. DKVOs and Pyro, though, they're still looking for the place. They get the vision and want to steal the Aegis if they can, but oh, it came in way too early. He can last with Roche there, I'm not entirely sure. ILTW looking for someone to blow down an ultimate, and he could have killed one of them if he just put it on LeBron. 600 missing. It's like, what's that, 0.6 damage? A couple of hundred, would have finished up one at least. Didn't up to go for it, he wanted Undershock or somebody else with the bigger mana pools. Oh man. Hesitation. Now, Aegis in hand on the Lifestealer. Desolator only 500 gold away. ED is smoked up again, they're just not letting up the pressure one bit. With IL2W, unless he gets caught right there now, we'll be able to finish up his Battle Fury. I can just quick buy it, he still gets caught. Silenced. Brought down.
I go to glory.
Ha ha ha.
Gold for my master.
And clarifying what I was saying earlier in chat about the German phrase. I don't think it has. It works the same way in English, so why I mention it like that. But yeah, this games for it. A really good game number 1, game number 2, the win for the draft that just didn't work out. Double Dimension with a great counter pick in the Doom. And now they're on the verge of just bring this one home too. Just need to turn this into more objectives, right? So far it's been farming ages, but now with the Desolator completed on Lifestealer, linked up with Undershock, who's kind of low on mana. So won't have a full combo available if he wants to go in onto somebody right now. But at this point you really need it. You blink in, you silence, you scream. And then Lifestealer pops out and does the rest. Didn't want to wait. He didn't want to wait inside that hero for too long. DK4 was laying down the fire, so they'll get rid of the creep wave. Rajix will have to tank some tower damage, but he'll be fine doing that for a while. And heal himself back up in the creeps. Top lane at the same time, LTW and Biver doing their best to do the split pushing game. Biver is here, of course, because no really point for him being close, so he can be more effective with a long range ice blast as a bigger AoE, and LTW is there because he cannot see anybody without dying. It's silence here, they catch him in the side, ultimate use, doesn't even turn invisible in time. Meanwhile in mid, another fight breaks out, 2 more heroes die here. Rajix with a double kill. Iceberg is still on the hunt. Oh, he's still on the run, I'd say. Rajix is hunting him down until silence ends. He will TP out, and with the extra minus armor, not enough damage to burn through that. But hey, damage is done. This tier 2 will fall, and they still have the Aegis. They even have, even have Sonic Wave. Undershock didn't have to use it up top. Ice Blast will connect, but it's still only level 1. No follow-up damage, so they don't care. They'll hit high ground, and there's nothing a Team Spirit can do against it. Don't even have to split push going from anti-mage to kind of threaten your T2, get something off of this. I think DD don't have is, any sort of extra region apart from Lifestealer from Rajix, but just gonna go straight for the tower. We'll use the edges. Infest into siege creep instead. Okay. Take it a bit slower. Now Antimate is back up, LTW and his B-line up top. They have to deal with him eventually again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Went for the extra quelling blades, so I think it still works together with Battle Fury against creeps. Not 100% sure, but it does make his farming faster. Oh, not again. The Rune of Many Winds has spawned in the bottom rune spot. Objects. I should pick it up soon because it's gonna be replaced. There it is. Maximizing the effectiveness, I guess. Another rune spawns on the other side. Iceberg plops it up into this bottle. Be faster, I guess. You can run away with that. Aegis will expire. Don't have that extra security, and Rajix has to be a little bit more careful if he wants to go high ground, but that bottom lane is being pinged out. FNG, you can expect the movement towards that, as that's the last remaining outer tier tower. The only objective that Double Dimension can go for, it's obvious, it's kind of easy. But FNG showing himself with plopping down that fissure. So Double Dimension, they should be careful enough to not group up for a big Echo Slam. But at the same time, stranger things have happened. Undershock by the creep wave. He's fairly tanky, has the strength threats going, so... And yeah, they made the call. Let's not fight here. Give them that tier 2. We don't really care. It's the price we have to pay for some extra time, and we'll try to mount the defense again on the high ground. LTW, he's still farming. It's incredibly far behind. Crazy. Be in from no fear. Try and kill him again. The blink just a little bit off the mark. The roll, still get him close for a stun. The silence, couple of right clicks, and that's all they need. Again, no fear. Absolute MVP this game. Meanwhile, down bottom. Well, they did bring down one Undershock. Well, slowed down. Ice Blast will connect, so he actually dies here. You know, did dive to kill the Bat Rider. With that Echo Slam locking him down for the Ice Blast to hit an iceberg in the middle of that. They get themselves a very nice kill. They'll make sure that the Marana is still kind of keeping up in terms of net worth at the very least. Doing this again. Sophia, not the most mana to work with right now. Just have half a combo, I guess. Yeah. Oh, here's a full combo. Mana ticking in. 3.3, pretty good region. And just prowling around for somebody to kill. I still have to break high ground at some point. Right. Gonna be the next big test. But they're probably gonna wait for Roshan to respawn and get themselves the Aegis and Cheese to make it much easier. Right? They are still somewhat vulnerable if they overextend, if they're not together, if they don't have that fallback.
Dire are scanning.
There's that burst damage, especially a Blink Dagger Earthshaker. Can be a game changer here if FNG finds the right Echo Slam at the right time. Right now, double dimension. I'm just taking it slow. Waiting for the big guy to come back. All this is still time for LTW, but he just finished up his Yasha. So ways away from that Manta style, and this is the one thing that will keep him safe up against the silence that Undershock and No Fear have been throwing up against him. Hey, there's the Basher, so that's a bit of a control even beyond that from the lifesteal. It's not choosing to throw that right into the Battle Blade by the looks of it, so there's the AC queued up instead, just to help them break high ground. Again, makes sense. Undershock building BKB instead, definitely a necessity. Up against his lockdown, so he can so he can move freely. Otherwise, it would have been another candidate to actually buy the AC, but Lifestealer with the Midas still going strong, also a very obvious choice. Also, one cool thing that Midas is doing is it's kind of offsetting the farming disadvantage that you have when you are stuck in another hero for so long. It's normally what you're looking at if you have a lifesteal on the team, like how much time do you actually spend infested not doing anything. So if this doesn't turn into a kill, then ultimately it's just a lot of wasted time where it's not farming jungle camps or anything. Roshan will respawn now. Maybe short respawn timer. Gonna go for that. Just throwing down the stones to try and help the creeps push out a little bit. Don't quite know the 3 people from Team Spirit in this general area. Yeah. Desolator. Right clicks. Team Spirit might figure out what's going on. There's some pings coming through. Ice Blast not being thrown out just yet. Just the Moonlight Shadow, just to try and keep them a little bit safe. Scout out their own jungle, but yeah. If they know that Roshan is happening, then they realize that they probably shouldn't fight this here. Team Spirit have any shot of coming back into this, and it's gonna be a high ground defense. That's just the way it's gonna have to be. High ground defense against Aegis and Cheese. Aegis once again in the hands of the Lifestealer and Cheese. It's the option for Undershock. He's making his way up top, just waiting for someone to show. Might have caught a glimpse of Biver here a little bit earlier. And he's blinking in, he finds him. And doesn't want to throw out the ultimate though. Holding on to it instead. Only an Ancient Apparition, it's not exactly a high value target at this point. Level 2 Ice Blast now, so with a little bit more damage. Oh, there it is. Echo Slam to turn things around though. The controller's there and they bring down Earthspread Logics though. Bit of a different story. Iceberg only forced to pop the BKB. Arrow will be tanked with the last bit of the rage. Now the slow on the Iceberg does not have enough leads and will be bashed up. Maybe on the back. ILTW coming in, swiping down one. That's the 2 supports down and about. Undershark pops the BKB, the ultimate. Not enough damage here. Also didn't quite clip the intimate, but look at this, Rajix. Went all the way inside the base, not just kill Iceberg, but also Wyver. Is down for 2. Still cheese available on Undershark should he need it. Without the ancient apparition, he also has the security of being able to rely on that heal without an ice blast kind of. Without an ice blast changing the equation a little bit. Yeah, there it is now, that push that they were looking for. Echo Slam has been used in the last fight and didn't actually land too many important kills. It got the Earth Spirit. Over here, are you AFK? There we go. If you're trying, his Entomage shows himself, Meta styles off the silence and follow up just a little bit too late from Nofia, but he finds a stone. Another blink event from Entomage. He will be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, inside the base! Oh god, that's the Shaker going down. The first set of Rex down. Project still holding on to the Aegis. Best thing to avoid some ice blast damage, one would imagine. And the shock still has the cheese too. The arrow will be eaten. They're all in this. There's what down in front of the tower. They see Iceberg now. Rajik will lose the Aegis here. Well, they will claim another tier 3 on the shock. Well, pops the BKB before the last. It's only the right clicks from Rajix, but that's not going to be enough to prevent the cheese from coming through. From Iceberg, sorry. And as a result, that's the second set of Rex. Use Aegis and cheese to make that work. Plenty of space to pop down the walls time and time again. And yeah, it's exactly what I was talking about. Normally, Antimage has a hard enough time fighting it as it is at this point, even if he had another item. And he would have if he didn't got shot down so incredibly hard in the other game. Now, 2 sets of Rex down means that 2 of the lanes on the map will give you half money. Okay. It's gonna go straight to Bash here. No fear, in a little bit of trouble though. Finding a bit more Nikachu runs into the entire rated lineup. They'll give him up by the looks of it, yeah. Nobody else walking in instead. They're walking away. That's sacrifice that you don't really mind, LTW. He has a haste rune, so he felt comfortable doing that. Doing what he can. He's starting to catch up now, but he's still 5th in the net worth. Iceberg, Mirana, he's but one doing as much as he can, but again, he's only Mirana. Not supposed to be the solo carry. Red Shadow now. It dies at jungle. Double dimension, they're kind of close together here. And once the life seal infested into Undershock, yeah. They're all here, they're ready to react. We'll have Earth Spirit back as well, teleporting in. Yeah. Look for Iceberg. I might have to pop his BKB here, but for now it's just a matter. Stone will not be thrown. Still chasing though. BKB TP. I'm pushing the only lane that made sense for double dimension to push as well. So naturally they're making their way here. They get the shrines on the way. Now they can make the decision. Do we want to just defend these attempts at split push from Team Spirit, or do they want to go for a high ground? And at this point, even without Aegis and Cheese, I think you can make this work. Team Spirit already trying to set up for it. They have all the tools available apart from Moonlit Shadow for another 25 seconds, but doesn't really matter too much. Just one single bit of detection that's counted. Undershark has a gem even, so. Oh, actually, Fish is setting up for the arrow. That could be a good one. Earthspirit being helped out though by Glimmer Capes and the silence as well, so no Lasso to drag him back. Team keeping him alive. And with that, the push as well. So a major source of lockdown on this particular hero. Not to mention the damage potential from the ultimate. Only this one BKB, I believe, yeah. Only the one on Mirana. LTW though, he's slowly getting to a point where he's a force to be reckoned with. He's level 21. Does have that extra alt stats. He does have the Skull Basher, so some lucky lucky rolls there. Maybe can get some extra bit of mana burn on the Undershock, and at that point you also have to look out for these mana void bombs. Up level 3 at this point. There it is. The lasso comes through. Lightning pops out though. The Echo Slam onto everybody here, but it's not enough. They lose Anti-Mage. They lose 2 more. Undershock survives long enough to get the ultimate off. 3 for 1 trade, despite the best Echo Slam that could have hoped for. Radix still very much alive and kicking, heals himself up on some of these creeps for a little bit, but now Rage up there, just want the tower. The back to Reach is actually going for a little bit. Well, prevent them from actually finishing it off, but they did get the buyback at the very least. RTW wants to find more after this. LeBron. He did the disassemble trick on the Glimmer case. Now stuck around the Anti-Mage, what have you done? Thought it was safe to farm. Thought they repelled Double Dimension, but the fake back was successful, and now the creeps coming in mid. They'll finish up the tier 3 top. They will finish up mega creeps.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Maybe I spoke too soon again. Do another fake back? Kind of low on mana, don't have all the ultimates. They're still missing on the shark, so was gonna be a bold move. And these kind of moves are, like if they were like to smoke and then try go high ground after taking down tier 3. These kind of moves are what you just lose to the game if you're not careful. At the same time, no Anti-Mage, no Echo Slam. Conditions could hardly be more ideal. They'll wait for Unshock to come back. There he is. Lasso, well, get caught by that again. Might just die straight off that. That's actually a nice steal. Now Undershock comes back in. Couple of right clicks there. Leap away from Mirana. Should be fine, but the bash comes out in the Earthshake instead. So he's down for a count. No fear. He'll sacrifice himself. It's space created for the Rax. Team Spirit's on the verge of losing this series and dropping out of the PGL CIS qualifiers. After having great game number 1. Great force of mind there from Double Dimension. Great drafts as well. Splendid execution. Last game was the Flow on the Doom. Yeah. Flow on the Doom, setting that up, just making sure that the Brewmaster was a non-factor. This game again, I will give it to No Fear on the Earth Spirit, just helping to create so much space, shut down the Anti-Mage for so long to give them that space to yeah, just unfold their draft, go high ground, get mega creeps before Anti-Mage is ready to farm on fight. They can sort of defend against megas. Of course, Battlefield Anti-Mage can still clear through Keybraves, so you have Mirana, who just got a casual crit, just Iceberg trying to do everything he can to provide the right click damage that they need. But what he really needs is a Maelstrom or something like that, just to help against the megas. Oh man, really don't know what else to say here. I get him Scepter in the works first, but not sure if he's gonna finish that before the game ends. It's really just a matter of securing another agent. Cheese. Rajik's already working on it. And then just winning one more team fight. What's the buyback status at? Very grim. Mirana has it, but that's about it. Anti-Mage of course used his earlier, and Mirana buying an item. Going straight for the Daedalus. Not gonna have that though. The courier dies. Oh, Ancient Apparition pops to the Orchid. Ugh. Nothing went right for Team Spirit this game. What it comes down to. And this is the final push. Double Dimension loses from this position, then I don't know. This is beyond back. Beyond backbands, beyond my ability to comprehend. Iceberg is trying to fight. He Except will keep No Fear alive for the time being. BKB already timed out again. LeBron throws down Chain Frost. Now the ultimate RTW patched up and not quite brought down. Not yet anyway, but the rest of the team is. GG is called. Yeah, what a turnaround. Double dimension. They lose game number 1, but Team Spirit, they broke. They were broken in game number 2. And they couldn't recover in game number 3. 2-1 is the final scoreline for this best of 3. Yeah. Well, they identified the crucial points. Double Dimension just recognized what they needed to do to win the game. They did exactly that. Draft provided them with all the tools and they executed. Nothing more to say there. And that means that we'll see them again facing up against Team Vega. That's a game that should be set up fairly soon. So yeah. That'll be right here, so don't go too far away.